Hello Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and can you believe it's November already? I can't, it's so crazy. I feel like 2018 just started and here we are. It's finally gotten chilly. I won't say cold because it's not really cold, but it's gotten chilly up here in Northern California. And yesterday, Starbucks released their holiday drinks. Now, I only go to Starbucks a handful of times a year. Part of it is the cost. It is expensive. But the other part of it is I truly am lazy. And when I'm on my way home, even though I can see Starbucks from my apartment window practically. If the roof was lowered on the car wash next door, I would see it. So completely within walking distance and everything. But I'm too lazy to go there after work when I'm coming home or anything. I just want to get home. So anyways, but that being said, I have gone twice in the last 2 days. So I just thought I would show anyone who hasn't seen what the holiday cups look like. I have 2 different ones. So I really like both of them, to tell you the truth. Okay, so this one is my favorite. I just love that. And I like that it's not just a plain red cup this year. That year that they did the plain red cup and you should decorate on your own. No, I'm not into that. So I love this. It's beautiful. And then the one I got today is this. This is the only green stripe on it. But I love green. So that's how the rest of it looks. But I am super excited that Starbucks' holiday drinks and holiday cups are back. And I treated myself twice, and that's it until my family comes. And then we might go to Starbucks. So I'm trying to be good. I tested my blood sugar levels this morning. It was not good. It was not good, guys. I have lapsed. And so I need to turn things down. I know I put back on the weight I lost, so that sucks. And my blood sugar levels, well, not as high as they started out as, are not where they should be. So, treats are aside. I need to throw away the Halloween candy. I bought some salads for lunch, and you know, you don't have to wait till the new year to make a new start. So, here we go again, back on the wagon. I should probably actually be tracking my blood sugars in my happy journal, my happy planner, although I'm not sure that's so happy. So that remains to be decided if I'm going to do that. But, and other news about Kate's life that you guys may or may not enjoy, this might or might not be one of the last times you see me in this particular setting. And no, it's not because I'm moving. The reason is that I may start working from home. Okay, it's kind of complicated. So here's the situation. I'm hired by one company. The office I work in is not the company I'm hired by. They contract my company to have a person who does what I do. I process subpoenas in a workers' compensation office. I also process medical records, and I prepare files to be sent to the DA and the applicant attorney and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's not too, complicated at all, but it saves them having to pay another employee, although I think it would actually save them money if they would just hire an employee to do it, but whatever, I have a job, so. So what's happening is that the company whose office I'm working in, they are remodeling. They're remodeling. And so for this first phase of remodeling, which lasts till about the middle of this month, they have space for me. So I can stay in my office. I do have my own office, so that's always been really nice. So I can stay in my office and continue to do my work. However, when they get to the second phase of remodeling, which is everyone moving into the side of the office that was already that's in the process of getting remodeled right now. That is the smaller part of the office, and so there isn't room for everyone. So they've told my company that they don't think that they have room for me. They still want me to work. They just don't have room in the office for me. And here's why I don't know if it's going to be permanent or not. Part of the reason for the remodel is that 2 branches are being combined into one. Both of the offices are only half filled, in part because this is a company that allows a lot of their employees to work from home. It's a workers' compensation office, and a lot of the adjusters are able to work from home. So 2 offices that are both in Sacramento, which probably seems excessive in the first place, are now being joined into one office, which is the office I work in. And they're not sure if they'll actually have room for me in the office after they do that. So, if the working from home is a permanent situation, which I'm hoping it is, if I get the workload that I currently get. If my workload decreases and then my company starts to think that maybe they don't need to have me as a full-time employee, that would be a bad thing. But if my workload continues as it is, then working from home is ideal for me. I hate driving above almost anything. I procrastinate going to work because that involves driving, and I procrastinate coming home from work because that also involves driving. I have been known to clock out from work and sit there for 2 hours just trying to will myself to drive home. I hate driving. And it's a 15-minute drive, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but I hate it. I hate driving. So if I can work from home, that would be amazing, and if it's a permanent thing. I would probably have to go into the office about twice a week to drop things off, pick things up, that type of thing. But my work is entirely doable from home. So if that's the case, I'm excited. Like, I can't even tell you guys. I'm so excited because it would be easier to fit things in, like fit in a workout before work and not have to worry about the fact that, like, I was sweating and now I have to take a shower and I have to get dressed and I still have to drive and now I'm going to be so late. Or like a lunch break, I can make something in the kitchen because it's right there. Or my 10-minute breaks, I can actually go outside and walk because in the office I'm in, it's on the 5th floor. But so to get downstairs and then to walk and then to come back up, that is more than 10 minutes. I can make it around my apartment complex probably 2 or 3 times in 10 minutes and come back and work. So I'm really hoping to be able to fit in a healthier lifestyle and routine. And additionally, there should be more room for crafts because instead of procrastinating coming home, I just have to walk to the living room. So all that said, if this is a permanent thing and I'll probably have to give up my dining room, which is fine because I never really use it. Like, filming these Flosstubes is about as much as I use it. My boyfriend and I eat here maybe like once a month. We did last night. I made tacos for dinner, and it was delicious. I used low-carb tortillas, and they're actually really good. So, but, okay, to be honest, my dining room table is a cardboard table because that was the most versatile, and it was cheap. And I've had this cardboard table for 4.5 years, and it's fine. So, like, when I'm cutting fabric and stuff, if I want to move it over to the living room to see the TV, I just pick it up and I move it, and it's no big deal. And that works great for me because I live alone, I don't entertain a lot, and it just works. Although I probably need to replace this one because I think the legs are starting to bow a little bit, and it's not good. But, yeah, so I'd probably have to give up my dining room to make it an office. And that's fine. I would just, this is taking up a lot of wall space, so I'd probably need to move that. and just do a little rearranging. But if that lets me work from home, I'm 100% okay with that. Like, take my dining room, let me work from home. So, fingers crossed it works out, and, yeah, I'm excited. The other alternative is they make me work from the corporate office of my company, which means going to drop things off at the office would be an ordeal, because my company is in the complete opposite direction. And so that would be like 30 to 45 minute drive as opposed to 15 to 20. So hoping they let me work from home. The last I heard is they said I would work from home, but I heard that from another source. So it's like, you know, did I really hear what I heard? Why is Alexa's blue light on? Like she's listening to me. I didn't say her name. I swear, she comes on sometimes randomly. The other day, I was watching Hell's Kitchen, and she added butter to my shopping cart. There isn't even anyone with her name on this season. So I don't know what's happening. She creeps me out sometimes. But then sometimes she plays me music, and I get really excited about that. So, mixed emotions about technology and it creeping into your life. Anyways, so that is my life update, and things are doing pretty good. On Halloween, I went over to my boyfriend's and we handed out candy because he lives in a neighborhood and kids actually go, and I live in an apartment complex and no kids come here to my apartment. So we saw a lot of kids, and let me tell you my favorite costume. It was a high school girl, and she was dressed in all black, and she had name tags on. They're like, hello, my name is, and they had a bunch of different names on them, and she had them all over her front and her back and everything. And so I asked her who she is, and she tells me she's an identity theft, and that just cracked me up. I thought that was so funny. I let her have extra candy. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We carved a pumpkin. It was just a good night. Yeah, and let's see. I mean, overall, things are going pretty good for me and my boyfriend. We're doing pretty good. Things are pretty happy. Nothing down lately, so that's good. That's really good. I should be seeing my family in like 3 weeks, so I'm excited about that. And, yeah. So, without further ado, we'll get to the crafting section. Now, bingo started this week. And today, none of my numbers were drawn. And it's like, why doesn't that happen on a work day when it's hard to squeeze in the stitching? No, instead it's got to happen on a Saturday when I've got time to stitch, you know? So that sucks. But anyways, because bingo is with every number that's drawn, that's on your card, you have to stitch 50 stitches. There's not a lot of progress to be seen, but there are multiple projects to be seen. And I do have some knitting and crochet to show because I've been working on Christmas presents. And so yeah, so that's all pretty exciting. My stitchy bug is starting to come back thanks to bingo. So I haven't done next week's spread on my Happy Planner yet. But I did get the replacement stickers. And so I finished up November. And I did put in some goals and to-dos. They're basically the same thing. Like, they're all goals. I didn't really differentiate between the categories. And, yeah, I'm loving how this looks. Next Tuesday is election night. And, my boyfriend and I are going to an election night party, so that will be fun-ish. Free food. So, you know, free food is always free food. And he likes to schmooze, so there is that. But the most exciting thing about election day-ish day? Well, the thing I'm hoping for the most, 2 things I'm hoping for the most on the ballots, and I'm hoping this will be bipartisan, so I'm not saying anything divisive here. Number one, in California, we're voting to, like, end this whole daylight savings nonsense. And I feel like that's a bipartisan issue. I've talked to people on both sides who hate the stupid daylight savings time. Yeah, sure, we're gonna gain another hour tonight. Not tomorrow. This spring, we're gonna lose it. So, I hate daylight savings so much. So if we do away with it and we vote it out, I will be so excited. So excited. And then in California, we also have another one to repeal some gas taxes. And gas is ridiculously expensive here in California. It's over $3.50 a gallon. The gas station right next to me, which is an AM/PM, which is, if you're not in a state that has AM/PM, that's like the cheap gas. So whichever gas station is the cheapest where you live, that's what AM/PM is. And so that one's $3.55 right now. It was $3.59 earlier this week. So Chevrons and Shells, those are at like $3.79 or more. So that should lower it by 30 cents a gallon. I have a friend who moved to North Carolina, and she told me she paid $2.30. No, did she say $2.30 or $2.50? I can't remember, but it was way lower, and I was like, good Lord. It was a whole $1 less, and I was like, I could save $15 every time I go to the gas station. It's crazy. So I am hoping both of those pass, and that would just make my night. Like, I'll be looking for those results to come in. Lower gas taxes, and no more daylight savings. No more stealing my hours. Yeah. So if you're in California and you care to vote to end daylight savings, please do it. It's just horrible. And I hope that didn't offend anyone, because I'm really not looking to offend anyone. And I feel like those should be bipartisan, so reach across the aisle, guys. Now, looking at what I have done since I last updated you. Okay, I've started 2 knitting things. And I've done some cross-stitching things. So, let's start with the knitting things and the crochet thing, and then I'll talk about the cross-stitching thing. So, I started the candle flame, not shawl, scarf, for my boyfriend. I did this much. So, I think this is the correct side to show. So, not that it matters. It's like, I don't know, 8 rows maybe? Maybe 10. So not much done. I did it just like a couple rows at a time, when I had a moment to spare. Just like a couple moments, not enough to get like heavily involved in a project, but enough to like 10 minutes, enough to do 2 rows. On Saturday, I started the shawl that Sharon and I are doing a knit along. Sharon, I don't know if you've started because you haven't told me. But so I did the first section on that. So I'm really happy with how this has turned out so far. And I'm looking forward to doing more. It is not my top priority right now because Christmas presents are. So I only worked on that on Saturday. I haven't worked on it since. The final yarn craft that I did was I worked some more on Sophie's Universe. And this is my Christmas present to my mother. And also my father, because they get lumped together. So I did 3 or 4 rows. I have 1 more row to do to finish this part, because it was released as a crochet along. So this is part 7. And my goal is to finish part 7 this week. So this week being like today or tomorrow. So at this point, each row is taking me an hour and a half to 2 hours to do. So I made these rose flowers in the middle part in between. That's what I did this week. The blue part, it took me, sorry, they're all blue. The dark blue took me an hour and a half to do that today. And then this medium blue and this lighter blue, those were 2 hours each round. So, and then here's the short side. Eventually it's going to be the long side, but here's that. So this is, I'm hoping you can see basically all of it. This is what it looks like so far. We've got a long ways to go. 50 or 60 more rounds. And by the end, I think each round will be taking around 3 or 4 hours. So I need to do about a round a day. So that's my yarn craft. This was not a bingo drawing. It's the only one that wasn't. But I was feeling this urge to work on Silent Night Lane from Heaven and Earth Designs. I only did just over 100 stitches on this one because then I started feeling guilty. I have Christmas stuff I need to finish. So I hope to work on this in winter, after Christmas. But I will show you what I did do. I did this box and this box. So this is a bit of a tree branch, which was exciting to see starting. That's like cloud. And the rest of this is like sky. But yeah, I really love this design. I love Donna Gelsinger's patterns. And so I can't wait to get back to this. I don't normally stitch diagonally, but I like to try different methods on different patterns. And so for this one, I did decide to do the diagonal. And this is 16 count, easy count, Ada. So I started this in January, and that was the first time I've worked on it since January. Oh, and this one is my favorite project bag that I've ever, well, one of my favorite ones that I've ever made. It's not up in my store. I'm just showing it because I love it. I made this last winter. And look at this beautiful inside fabric. I love it. I think it's perfect for this pattern, the snowman. I love winter bags. So I will deal with you in a minute. Okay, so that takes me to the current week. Okay. So today is the third day that we've had a bingo drawing, and none of my numbers were drawn today. So I'll go through day 1 and day 2. You're day 3. I mean 2. Okay, so for the first number that was drawn, it was supposed to be on my Main Street sow. However, to get to it, I had to count, to get to where I could stitch 50 stitches, I had to count over 3 houses and down 1. And that was just too much counting. I was worried that I would mess it up all for 50 stitches. So I went through so many patterns trying to find this number, which I don't even know off the top of my head right now. 605. DMC 605. which turned out to be on Brooks Books Aurora, so Sleeping Beauty. And so I decided to start that. I didn't print it out because I'm not 100% positive with my fabric choice and if I'm going to stick with this. So here is my start on it. And that's just part of the dress, the pink in the dress. And this is Cloud Gazing from Fiberlicious. About a year and a half ago, I was in her Fabric of the Month Club, and I think she does fantastic fabric. It was just, you know, I'm on a tight budget and I couldn't afford it anymore, so, so this one's a beautiful one, and if you're looking for a Fabric of the Month, I'd highly recommend Fiberlicious. She's amazing. If I ever am able to afford it, I will go back to Fiberlicious. Next I worked on Balthazar. So this was a new start. Balthazar is the Mill Hill I'm doing for my parents. I'm not sure I'm actually going to have it done in time for Christmas, as it's not my top priority, but we'll see. We'll see what I can do. So I did 110 stitches in this color, which is this part of his robes. So I have a little bit more to do in that color. I might do that while this video is uploading, and then I might try to see with this project if I can do all of that color on the day it's called, so, or drawn in bingo. So I might try to finish that out. I think it's probably less than 50 stitches left. And I did 110 on Balthazar. And then the last one for that day was my Disney one. And I do need to work more on this, as this is my main top priority for Christmas. And I changed up my needle minders for it. This is the Disney one, and look at these two Mickey Mouses. And so this is the color that was called, so I had to count down quite a bit to get to the 50 stitches I needed. I did 56. But so I would like to do the characters that are in between. So over here we have Quasimodo, and then Rapunzel is over here. So, oops, put you back. And then yesterday I only had one number drawn, and it was on Miranda, which is a Christmas present for my aunt. This is also not the top priority because I am also making my aunt a shawl. And so I know if I don't finish this in time, she lives an hour and a half away, so it's not as big of a deal. I would like to finish it on time, but for the family that lives overseas, I need to get theirs done as the main priorities. So I did the orange in her hair, and that is the only orange of this color in that whole pattern, and it was 56 stitches. So I was a little concerned as I was stitching it if I would have enough to meet my 50 quota. So that's my progress for the week. I don't really have any plans to share because I'm stitching as the numbers get drawn, and I don't know what the numbers are yet. So I'm really hoping to stay caught up on the bingo game, because for every day you miss, your number gets doubled. The number you have to do, up to 400 stitches. So that could be a nightmare if I'm not able to stitch my 310s, because I put it on 5 boards. So each board would double. So it could get up to 400 times 5 boards, which would be 2,000 stitches. So that would not be great. I am carrying around a paper bag, like a takeout restaurant paper bag of cross-stitch projects just in case the numbers get called and I'm like at work or something, that I can take it out and try to do 50 stitches on lunch break. It's getting ridiculous, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, so I'm really enjoying that. And that's all I have. Another one of my plans or goals for this week is to start planning my stitching for next year in terms of group events. I am focusing on the semi-sane stitchers, and cross stitch is fun, but I don't think they have any events for next year set up yet. And then cross stitch finish line, I like them as the main groups whose events I'm gonna follow. I'm not doing Stitch Mania, so, and I'm not doing Year of Whips because I tried to do Year of Whips this year and it just didn't work for me. So I got these half sheets that I'm planning on putting one in each month's, like, monthly spread out section and writing the goals for that month according to the cross stitch group so that I can check them off or cross them off as I get them done, and also so that it'll be easier to see what's coming up for that month. So I hope to do that this week. And I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was $5 and I used my 40% off coupon, so that was really exciting. Their Christmas stuff is 50% off right now. I only got one thing. I got this Christmas washi tape that was like $5, but it was half off for $2.50, and so I'm looking forward to using that in my Happy Planner. So, anyways, if you're looking for some good Christmas deals, 50% off right now is pretty good. So, yeah, that's all for now. I'll talk to you guys later, hopefully next week, and happy stitching. Bye.